Did she really hear it all before? Or have I heard it all before? What up? What up? What up? What up? Welcome to the Real Life Spill Show. Hello to the world. Shout out to everybody that is listening to the sound of my voice. I really hope everybody can hear me. Technical difficulties like a motherfucker. But I'm gonna try to make this work best way I know how. When the last time we was in here? Like November of last year, I think. I know I've done terrible. I've really been effing up, but
Amen.
I'm gonna try to get things right. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. A lot of things going on. Yeah, I know about the personal things, but outside of that, it's just been me being lazy. I ain't gonna hold. You know what I'm saying? It's been me being lazy. Because every time I haven't even DJed on my own radio station in God knows how long. So
Accountability is the first step. So
so it's not. So so I can take it. I can take it. I can take it. I can take
everybody feel free to spam him with hate speech. Let me stop.
it. Oh man, it feels good to be back though. I mean, I just got to get the problem is I try to work around everybody, and this is the argument that me and Rain have on the regular. It's like you already have something set in stone, and then you want to change it, and yeah, I'm guilty of that because I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to scheduling and planning and trying to figure out things. Like I said, I try to do shit that works for everybody. But I guess I just have to, whoever's available is available, and whoever's not is not. But I kind of like it when everybody is, available. We know how some of them do. I'm not gonna say no names. It's not you, Teray, but I'm not gonna say no other names.
GT, feel free to curse him out.
Faggot ass nigga.
Oh man, he gave it no time. He gave it no time. It's a
So
little
what's
bit.
good, everybody?
Hey
I
man,
am all right. I am over the summer. This heat. Actually, it's actually been well, over here on the northeast. It's actually pretty mellow this week. It wasn't that bad compared to the literal hell we had last week, the week before. But I can do with this mid 80s. I don't know what it's like on your side, GC.
Yeah, it been raining like a mug, but it hot as hell.
90s
90s close to the hundreds. Hell, it's 90 outside right now.
right now. Oh my god, how ignorant.
oh, somebody get rid of the heat, please. Get rid of the heat.
I think we're
Hey,
gonna
we
have a pretty mellow week this week too, where we're at, and then I believe it's supposed to possibly get hot, maybe one day this week, possibly two. Which I was talking about, me and Rain getting the kids together and trying to get them to a pool at some point so they can all play together. But I was telling her the pool that I want to go to, you got to go early before everybody and their mama wakes up, because a lot of the hood people are still sleeping till like 1ish. And then after one, just know that it's gonna be a crowd of people lying around the block all the way to the freaking one train. So I advise her you have to get your kids up a little bit earlier. I'm not talking about 8 o'clock in the morning, but we got to get there around 11ish, and pick a day that's gonna be hot as hell, so that therefore we can cool off before the whole big crowd comes there. And not only will it be hot as Satan ass crack, on top of it, it will also be a crowd of people pissing and peeing in the freaking pool. So let's just get there before the crowd gets there.
Don't you just love when that happens? It's funny. Me and Rain was talking about that the other day, and I was like, and I brought up the beach, and I was like, I said I remember being at the beach, and I'm like, yo, I gotta pee, I gotta pee, I gotta pee, and then then the old timers, well, go ahead and pee. Like, really?
Listen, the fishes are shitting in the same water that you're swimming in, so it is what it is.
Yeah,
But here's
so
a
you,
clue that
yeah.
I hadn't really paid attention to, but I read somewhere that you can tell if somebody peed in the pool, because if it suddenly starts to smell like chlorine, you can tell that whatever area you smell the chlorine, that's what the pee is. Because the chlorine is activated by the urine and the bacteria. So the minute somebody pees, you will smell chlorine in that area where the person's at. So if you start
Shame,
smelling it out of nowhere, that's how you know that person. You need to get away from them.
shame, shame, shame.
Absolute shame. Or
So
actually, maybe there is no shame. They have no shame, which is why they did it. So I don't know.
I gotta get better because you know what, I be having all these ideas before we come on there, and then because I don't never write shit down, because I don't never write shit down, I'd be like, like I need to write shit down because I be forgetting shit. You know, I think this is why we wing it a lot of the times because I don't write half the shit down.
Howdy, howdy, ho, everyone. It's your girl A Rain in the building.
Did you call me a hoe? Let me see.
I did no such a thing.
She's like, "Hi there, hoe." Like, oh, what she say?
I did no such thing. I said, Heidi, Heidi, ho.
See, there you go. We're already starting off wrong.
Shout out to all my people that's gonna be locking in. I mean, we should have some new people listening and stuff tonight. I said I did terrible. I didn't advertise this or nothing because I always say let's do it, and then of course the last minute it's always me talking about well it wasn't me last week, although Rain tried to put that bullshit on me. That wasn't me.
It definitely was.
It was definitely her being out late, but it's
It definitely was not because I told him, as always, he could have started without me and I would have jumped in on the scene.
whatever.
Don't be a hater.
Whatever. So it was a good day. We had a little bit of barbecue. We had some ribs, some chicken. What else we had? We had a whole bunch of stuff, right?
How the hell you cooked and don't know what you had?
Nigga, I can barely remember what I did.
We
2
had
minutes
chicken,
ago.
we had ribs, we had macaroni, we had baked beans, we had rotel dip, we had Mexican guac, we had pico de gallo, we had Mexican steak, we had
A foot in his ass.
my brain just went blank. Besides chicken, ribs, Mexican steak, we had regular steak, hot dogs, hamburgers. I think that's it.
Now that you said ribs, I feel like I want that now. That my inner fat girl is like, yum yum
I
yum.
mean, well,
You remember the cartoons where
I
like
have
the
plenty if
child
you
pops
like
up?
some love. I could always bring it to you.
we got some left over.
I am never gonna turn down ribs. I mean, I haven't really been on the pork thing for a couple of years, but every now and then I crave some bacon and stuff. So I'm just, you know what? I think I need to buy some ribs, and I
Well, as
think
my
I'm gonna make
mother, as my mother always said, I just was bothering my sister with this earlier.
If you eat Chinese chicken wings, you eat pork.
I said, you don't know
I
what you
don't.
missing.
I don't even like Chinese food. I really don't. Listen, here it is. It's not that I don't like Chinese food. I ate it so much in college, I fucking hate it now. So that's what it is. I overdid it because when you're in college, like a lot of times you.
You gotta eat what you can afford.
I'm gonna speak on just me. I worked as well as went to school. I had a full time job and I was in college and I also lived in a dorm. And then I just ate when I could, and a lot of times it was pizza, which is right across the street from my dorm, and Chinese, which I believe is predatory for them to do that. But anyway, I overdid it when it came to the Chinese and pizza for a while. So for years, I would not eat pizza or Chinese food. Until this day, the only thing I will eat from Chinese food, and y'all need to shut up and leave me alone, is their fried tofu because I love tofu. So yeah, that's about the only thing I will eat. And then for some reason, this baby likes lo mein, and I freaking hate soy sauce, and I hate lo mein, but the baby likes it. So temporarily, I like lo mein. I'll probably get back to hating it in a couple of weeks. So
Oh, well, I love lo mein. I mean, they they know
I
us so
make my
well.
own at this point.
And when we call them, they know us so well. I mean, that's like I used to order egg foo young all the time. They were so used to me calling, "Oh, you want egg foo young, right?"
I used
So
to love that. I can't stand it now. Oh my god, I can't. I can't even smell it without wanting to throw up. And this has nothing to do with pregnancy. I'm just saying, I just can't stand the smell of it because I think I overdid that so much.
yeah, so the one day I went in there and ordered something different, her whole face changed colors. And what's up with them? Like I never understood like the attitudes in the restaurants, especially the Jamaican ones. I like you always piss a Jamaican off when you tell them you want cabbage. You say no. Oh, they're pissed off.
Excuse me, we don't ask you, do you want cabbage? We ask you, do you want vegetable?
You say no. Niggas is pissed off.
First of all, if their attitude is nice, I don't want their food. Which means that
Period. Pooh.
you're being nice to me because you need my business. So
Telling you as a fellow Jamaican, if you walk in a restaurant and them not ask you what you want with an attitude, walk out. The food is nasty.
I'm trying to go suck your mother.
Hey, watch your mouth.
Now I'm just saying, I wonder if they be thinking that when, because I've been in a lot of places that you want
They don't
cab.
think nothing. They just stuck their teeth.
Yeah, exactly,
That's
exactly,
it.
exactly. Word up. So has anybody seen the video outside of Ren and I? What happened in Montgomery with the brawl?
I'm so
You are
proud. Oh
such
my
a
god.
New Yorker. Please
Nigga,
stop
I tagged
pronouncing
y'all
it
in that
like
video
that.
on Instagram.
It's not Montgomery. It's Montgomery.
You know
Mount
I'm
this slow
super
ass
proud.
can't pronounce nothing.
There's no U in that word, dear. It's MONT.
whatever.
I for one am proud that we unified together and formed like Voltron to whoop some ass. So,
As they should have.
Yes,
They
however, I
told them
pray that
white people a
the man that
brand
they
new
locked up,
ass.
that was.
They beat that one man so bad his Crocs was still in sports mode and feet was all the way out the front.
I just hope the man that they detained got let go. I hope he wasn't actually arrested. The guy that was
Oh,
WWE.
all it was I think they said at least 15 people were arrested.
Wait, but I'm saying, were they arresting the people who started it, which were
They
the
arrested everybody who wouldn't stop when they got there on the scene.
So basically, they didn't go after the people who started it, which
They don't
was.
know who started it because it turned into a brawl. That's it.
I know who started it because I saw the video. So they
I
need to
saw the
arrest the
video
people.
too, but by the time them folk, first of all, MPD is slow as hell. I live there, and I can tell you they slow as hell. Now this is pertaining to white people, or they trying to arrest some black person for some BS. They slow as hell. So by the time they got there, the initial people that was fighting probably was no one on the premises. And if they were, they had the gun. That's probably the dude that got his ass tossed over in the water anyway. They told them white people ass up. I was so proud.
Mm-hmm.
but
Look, you hear me say all the time how I feel about Montgomery. There are a select few people that have my heart in that city. Other than that, the city could go straight to hell on a one-way ticket. But I was so proud of them in that moment because it's about
yes,
time.
yes, definitely.
Cause them white folks definitely fucked around and found out.
I
Yeah,
love how the woman thought she was gonna get her licks in, like before it turned into like them jumping on the younger white boys that were like backing up, the ones that were beating up the older black guy. I saw how she tried to get her a few licks in, and somebody bopped her so freaking hard she went flying about 10 feet, and then tried to play the Karen role and start crying, like kicking her feet, like
They
ah,
bopped the shit
like
out
no,
of her with that chair.
no. And then what's funny is, you saw, was that the same chick that as they were trying to lock somebody up, she was still trying to get hits in, and then she got pushed by the cop.
Yep.
What an idiot.
They bopped the shit out of her with that chair.
and
She
how about
used
the pop?
her
Chris
privilege
with
and
it
found
too.
out it
Yeah.
was
Oh,
her.
then they tossed the cop in the water too.
I didn't see that
Good
part.
for his ass
I said goody for him because he was on the white people's side.
out there being Uncle Ruckus.
Mm.
You leave my people alone.
Well, you can go with him, sir.
Facts, but I'm with y'all. Like I'm glad. Like what I'm saying. Like the black people. Like we finally. Because I always say. I was just talking to my godmom about it earlier. I'm like, we are our worst enemy with a lot of things. So I'm glad. Like what I'm saying. We came together, or they came together and delivered that ass whooping.
Yeah, I hope they get bailed out. I hope that there's a GoFundMe somewhere for everybody. First of all, I hope that the charges don't stick. I hope that they spend the night, let them go once they review the entire footage and realize that it actually did start with the aggressors.
Well,
And then
child, unless it's gonna be some white people to say what they saw, which likely not, because all of them got their ass handed to them. You know how black people go. I ain't seen shit. I ain't heard shit. I don't know shit.
Exactamundo.
I'm wondering if were a lot of them even from that area, because if it was an actual, it didn't look like it was like a cruise. It looked like it was just like a boating area where people just came, and maybe there might have been like a day cruise
That's
or
the
something.
waterfront. They've redid it over the years, but they have like restaurants and stuff there. And a lot of people congregate there, especially during the weekend. So it does have like paddle boating and all that stuff there. You can take a little circle cruise, blah 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 blah. But it's mostly just like a local hangout spot. But to be
Okay,
honest,
so
it
most of
has
those people
always
were from
been
that area.
predominantly white people.
Okay, so those people were most likely from the area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm not gonna say they from there because like New York, uh Montgomery has a lot of small cities inside the city. So most of the white folks was from like Wetonka, Prattville, stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of them, most of those cities are maybe 15, 20 minutes, hour tops outside of Miami. I said Miami, Montgomery, and they just drive to wherever they feel like it. It's still, unfortunately, they still are light years behind when it comes to civilization, as far as learning that we ain't our MFing ancestors, our grandparents and great grandparents. I will knock your ass out
Whoop
and
that
smile
trick.
in my
Get him.
mugshot with a sign that says I did that shit.
Whoop that trick. Get him.
It's funny. My father's family, they're from Mobile, Alabama, and I remember. Well, I'm not gonna say this is the first time, but it's the first time I remember him giving us the speech of "It's different down here," and he already warned us like there's gonna be certain parts where people are not like they are in the North. Where I'm not saying that they aren't racist in the North, but it's a little more concealed. They
Oh,
tend to
it's
watch their
downright
mouth.
to the point where they'll call you a nigga to your face.
No, he told me he tried to warn me because remember he used to go there every summer when he was a kid. So he's warning us as Northern children. Listen, we're first generation North, so he's trying to put us on like, listen, it's not the same. All these white people are not friendly. There's not all of them, but it's hard to tell which ones it is until they open their mouth and say something. So he's like, there's certain restaurants you're gonna ask to go to, and we're gonna say no. There's certain places we're not allowed to go, and this and that, that, that. And I really didn't understand what he was talking about until one instance. I forgot where we were. It wasn't a restaurant, it wasn't a museum, but it was like some historical whatever that we went to, and we overheard a conversation where basically they were berating this black boy. I'm saying boy, but he's probably like 22, 23. But he was berating this black boy, and the black boy kind of was just taking it. And you could see in his face that he wanted to say something, but he didn't. And he didn't work there either. He just was a local. But it pissed me off because I'm like, why isn't he saying something? But then my dad had to remind me, he's like, there's such thing as sundown towns where if they catch his black behind
And
somewhere else,
sadly, we are in
Facts.
at one point in
2023 and
time,
they
he's
still
gonna
have
regret
those.
and eat them words that he said, and anybody with him is getting it too. So he's like, it's not the same out here. And I couldn't understand it because I was like 8 or 9 at the time. I was like, but I thought this was over. He's like, it ain't never over in a lot of these places. So all these people that tried, I mean, first of all, I already knew because y'all know my story, being the only black kid in the private school in the North and being called nigger on a regular basis. So I knew what it was, but I just didn't think it was like violent like that. Like I was used to the words, and most little girls got a smart mouth anyway. So I wasn't one of those little girls that just be like, oh no, you should call me a nigger. I was like, I will F you too. Like I had a mouth, but at the same time, I didn't. That's as far as it went. Nobody ever put their hands on me. Like the one time a boy tried it, I knocked his head with a chair, and I almost got in trouble. But then once they found out what the boy said to me first, they understood. But at the end of the day, it never really got violent with me. It was just all talk. And they also knew not to take it too far with the spitting and all that other stuff. Because once again, I had a mouth and I defended myself. So I couldn't understand, why can't the boy say something back? Why can't the boy get smart? Why can't he say? And I just couldn't understand it. But now I truly understand as an adult, realizing even my nephew who lives in just outside of Atlanta, when he was telling me, he was like, we black people in the North assume that most places in Georgia are like Atlanta, not realizing that Atlanta is probably the best place for your black behind to be, because outside of that is sundown. So he's like, you should probably stay your behind in the city where the other black people are, where you're safe. Don't leave your area, because if you leave your area, just realize you don't have the same freedoms that you have in Atlanta. So when my family went down for his baby shower, they wanted to go out. They wanted to see the nightlight. They're like, oh, where do we go? Oh, we go to Atlanta to party. We don't party out here because the bars and stuff, they're not really black friendly. And he was like, a little taken back by it because he loves where he lives. His community is actually cool and it's mixed. There are white people there, but he's like, outside of my community per se, it's not exactly black friendly. And we got to start realizing that we are not in a post-racial society, and do not let anybody gaslight you into thinking that you're bugging when you tell them your experience and that you are making stuff up and you're being overly sensitive. Because what it is people are uncomfortable with the truth, and people are uncomfortable with hearing that their ancestors might have done some stuff in the past, or their uncle, who's not even that old, probably in their 70s, was not too far removed from lynching people and doing stuff to people. And their great granddaddy, who they love to show the picture off of, oh, he was a soldier, but he was a Confederate soldier, right? And then you love bragging about your pappy, who's the greatest man in the world, but he was spitting on black kids in the 60s. So it's like they don't want to come to grips that maybe I can't even say ancestors, their parents and possible Nana that watched them and made sweet molasses brownies and shit. She was spitting on people and calling people niggers. Like, Granny ain't as sweet as you thought she was. We got to realize
Right.
that our parents and grandparents lived through some stuff that they will never understand. So they love to gaslight you and make you think that your reality is not what it is, and it's some BS.
Yeah, but they gotta remember at the same time, like Rand said, we are not our peoples. I even brought up the police force, and I said how some of these, I mean, we had this conversation frequently. How some of these cats that were bullied in school, they become cops, and then once again, as I told my godmom earlier, I said, "Oh, now you look for the what I guess would be considered the legal way to beat the shit out of one of us and get away with it, and things like that." But I'm like, we gonna fight back hands down. Like I think if I would have been honestly, I think if I would have been down there, I probably would have been showing my ass too. I probably would have ran down. I probably would have ran down, jumped in that shit, knowing that it had nothing to do with me. Just because our black community for once was actually doing something, and I hope
I'd
it
have been
doesn't.
using people. I would have my mace on hand. I probably wouldn't have laid a finger on anybody because I'm not going to jail. But I would absolutely mace somebody as they're running by. Because let's say Becky got hit and she ran past me, just know that there's gonna be a little mace mixed with your blood in your eye.
Nah, but yeah, and that's the thing. But I just hope realistically that it doesn't stop there, because I always say too, like like when one of our people get killed and all the rallies start, with Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, we we watch this. Well, it's just my opinion. We watch this go on for so long with the Black Lives Matter movement. Sorry, getting tongue tied, and it goes on for a hot second, and then it's like a cop. They get arrested. It's kind of like all right, we're gonna pacify you guys real quick. We'll arrest somebody, and then it's kind of like everything dies down. Like, why did we gotta keep? In my opinion, let's just keep that same energy. Let's not just okay this one time because somebody was fed up this one time, and then it happens again and nobody does nothing next time and things like that.
But the thing that sucks is, all right, even right here in our city, well, I'm not going to say all the precincts because we live in a pretty big city. It's like 41 square miles. It's a lot of precincts. I think it's like 7 or 8 police precincts in different demographic areas. And I will say specifically in one of the areas that we used to live in, those cops are notoriously racist. And it's not even just, well, it's mostly the white ones, obviously. But there are some black ones too who have drank the Kool-Aid and they're no longer black, they're blue now. And I remember numerous times being harassed by it. Mind you, I have a clean slate. Like, it's to the point where if I pull up my driver's abstract, you would think it's an error because there's nothing on it. I don't have so much of a speeding ticket, seatbelt ticket, cell phone, nothing, tail light, nothing. But these people, they will mess with me anyway just because I'm black and I live in that area. So
Of
then
course.
again, I can't say it's purely just racist. It could just be the fact that they don't respect anybody who lives in that area. I remember one time my husband got a job working at Walmart. He was in the stock room. He happened to have not a pocket knife, a box cutter, and that was for the job. It was those yellow ones with the spring tie on it that you could clip to your belt. So he had one of those, and I guess they saw that. He's running for the bus because he's about to miss it. It was the 8 bus. It was going down the hill. He almost made the bus. The cops literally tackled my husband to the floor, busted his chin and everything, had a big lump for like a week and a half because they decided that they were going to. Oh, sorry, I was reading the chat. I'm sorry. He almost made it to the bus. They tackled him down because they said he looked suspicious and he was running. And he's like, I was running for the bus. He had his Metro card and everything out. And he was like, I'm getting to the bus. I have my Metro card in my hand. Like, what was I gonna do? Slice somebody with the Metro card? Oh, but I see you got a knife. And he's like, it's not a knife, it's a box cutter. Oh no, it's a weapon. It's not a weapon, it's a freaking box cutter, and it's in my pocket. The only thing in my hand was the Metro card. So I don't understand. So they detained him. Thankfully, they let him go. But the point is, they unnecessarily tackled him and injured him to the point where they wouldn't even release him until they treated him and made the swelling go down. And it's just a mess because they did that to numerous people where they'll just attack you for no reason. I remember I got pulled over because this cop was double parked and I went around him. So I guess all the traffic rules to stop because you're double parked. And mind you, there was more than enough space for me to get by. And I had like a Hyundai Elantra, which is a tiny car. So there was no reason why he acted like I was going to hit him because I had like a Tahoe or a Yukon or something. So basically, I went around him. I didn't speed around him. I didn't beep at him, flash my light, none of that. I literally just went around him slowly. And then he pulled up behind me. What are you doing? I said, I'm trying to get home. I was literally like around the corner from my house. I said, I'm trying to get home. License and registration. I'm like, okay. So I give it to him, like, why am I being pulled over? Just wait. And I'm like, okay. He comes back, literally throws, when I say throws my license in my face and my registration, it says, get out of here. I'm like, excuse me, what did I get stopped for?
So this
He did
motherfucker
not
wanted
tell
to
me.
fight.
I was like, you're just mad because I passed you. Like, what the hell is your problem? Like, these people were on an ego trip, and it's only in that precinct. And
They
it got
think because they put on that uniform that they are above the law. I just said today, I think it was Chuck that I was out with, and we were driving, or maybe it was yesterday. And I said, ain't this some shit? Look at this. Look at this. He threw the lights on from 4 lights back, sped through the lights, and then made a left turn. And all of a sudden, the lights
And
came
turn the
back.
bitches off.
The lights came off. I said, look at this shit here. So because you're in a police car, you get to run lights? Like, no, you're not above the freaking law. I said, that's why sometimes I be wanting to take the oath and put on the uniform, because I'm gonna show y'all that y'all not supposed to be doing this. I don't care. You're not above the law. You're supposed to enforce it. If you're breaking the law, how the hell you gonna get mad at me for doing the same thing you just did?
because you're not me.
They a
You
gang.
don't do what
That's
I
the
do
world's
as I say.
biggest gang. Is the
Kiss my ass.
police.
And I'm gonna tell you, kiss my ass. Ma'am, do you know I pulled you over? I honestly don't care. Do what it is that you're gonna do so I could go about my day.
Hey,
You know
turn on
what's
that
sad?
little boot. Turn on that little bootsy phone.
No, you know what I love, and they show it on Facebook because I'm one of them dickheads, like especially on a good day. I'm gonna say especially on Friday. Like my music be on 1,000. I don't got a system in my car, but they be showing it on Facebook saying, oh, when everything is legal and you ride past the cop and your shit shakes their whole car. I done did that to a few of them. I'm like, I know they be getting
My
mad
car
with
ain't
me.
like that, but I tell you what, I damn sure ride past the music on blast, and I've gotten a kick out of it lately. Music on blast, foot hanging out the window, and will flick them off on purpose.
Right up.
I have a friend from college who's a NYPD officer who she has the same attitude that Rain has, but what she ended up having to do is transfer to the court system because she couldn't take it anymore. She said the amount of bullshit and unfair treatment she saw patrolling with other officers, she's like, I can't do it, because she's like, the sad thing is when you speak up, they target you, meaning that they no longer have your back. They'll put you in precarious situations and won't cover you. And they'll literally stand by and let you get shot up and killed because you spoke up and you said something, or you're not standing for the BS. And there's actually 2 cops on YouTube that are actually till this day still being targeted by their respective police departments. I don't remember their names. If I find it, I will send it to you guys. But I know that it's a black female officer and there's a black male officer who both chose to speak up for wrongdoings that they witnessed, and they had a target on their backs. One of them won their lawsuit against the police department recently. It took like 8 years, but they finally won their lawsuit. And then the female, I don't think she won. I think they took her pension. Like, they really, really messed her over really bad. But thankfully, I think she went on the Breakfast Club at one point, and they a GoFundMe was put up, and now she's good. She's set for life. She got back everything and more, but it's messed up that she had to go through that and put her life at risk just to say what's right.
I remember one time
I
I was
be
driving.
talking about. I seen that interview.
Yeah, and it's a black woman and a black male, and they both are probably in their late 50s, and they both were pretty much shunned from the police department just because they spoke up against wrong.
I remember one time I was driving out to PA and I mean I was getting it. I didn't even see the state trooper. But I know he was mad because I did the bullshit. I got zoomed by him. I know he pulled out and I was like, oh shit. I'm like, was I had the passenger with me? I'm like, was I speeding? So I'm looking at the dashboard. I'm like, was I speeding? Like he got behind me, so I did the bullshit. I ducked between two semi trucks. I ducked between two semi trucks and then I started to drive like an old grandma. And he was just punching it. When I tell you the look on his face when he rode by, because I guess everything was good. I mean, he had the look of disgust on his face, like yeah, nah, like he was just so mad. He was like tomato red in the face because I guess he wasn't meeting that quota. Well, not with me anyway. And then we had and I don't know if I think we had said that before about the PA story when we got another time we were in PA and we got pulled over on Labor Day weekend, and then the first thing the cop comes up to the car and he's like, "Hey, I smell marijuana," and I'm like, "No, you don't." But I think he was just looking for he was looking for a different reaction because I'm like, literally the first thing you don't ask me you don't ask me for anything. The first thing you do the first thing you do is come out and say is, "Hey, I smell marijuana." And also, Saray, I don't know if you keep up with Yonkers voice or not. They had another video where it was what was it 8 cops on South Broadway, and it kind of looked like they had the knee on the neck, but then the cop is screaming, "Stop resisting! Stop resisting! Stop resisting! You're surrounded by 8 cops. You can't go anywhere. You can't go anywhere." So somebody put in the comment, it was like, "Oh, it's sad that it took eight of you guys to detain one person." And another thing that I don't get is like with a traffic stop, like we all got that joke where we say, "Oh, if another cop car comes, that generally means you're going to jail." Like, what is the purpose of having 8 and 10 cars for a little person like
They
myself?
always do that. I cannot stand it. Like anytime you go on YouTube and see the videos, especially in our city, and mind you, it's not like there's nothing to do. Trust me, it's big enough that there's a lot of stuff going on. You can find you something to do, and literally the entire precinct will show up for one call. It's like, y'all just sit the hell down somewhere. Like, just find something to do.
Yeah, like this is what y'all do with the tax money. This is what y'all do. All they out for one little person.
There could be so much police work being done as far as community policing that y'all choose to all just be nosy as hell and stand around. It's not even like they're helping. They'll just stand there at their car and talk and laugh and stuff. It's like this is their get together. You're not gonna tell me,
Like,
oh, we all heard the same radio call. Like, no, I'm pretty sure, just like with any other dispatch, one person or two people hear it and then they let I got it. Like whatever car you're in, oh, car number 3, I got it. Whatever. You're not gonna tell me
like
you all need to show up.
and then yeah, then y'all show up and you would sit there and have 10,000 conversations. Like I had a guy get mad at me because they were conducting I think they were conducting a raid in School Street. It was narcos, but they were just holding up the traffic. And me, long day after work, I'm holding the horn, and the guy's like, "There's a cop over there. There's a cop over there." I was like, "I don't give a you know what. There's a cop over there." I said, with all this, like you with the Hyundai situation, all this room in the middle of the street, and they decided to block the street. I said they couldn't move the car over. I said they already have what they want anyway. I said, so what's the purpose of blocking the street and leaving us stuck here? I tell you, it's almost like this guy wanted to fight me because he's like, "Don't be blowing your horn. It's a cop." It's something like, I don't care. Like, move to the side. You know what I'm saying? So just to shift gears, So the other night we were me, Rain, my sister, another friend of mine. We were just chilling or whatever, right? And you guys ever had? I'm sure you've seen it. You guys ever had a music war before? Like, meaning like I'm not gonna say attack, but what should I say attack? It's like it was almost like a YouTube versus, but we were kind of throwing shots a little bit. My homeboy kind of started it, but before we did that, I had thought to myself when we were supposed to do this last week. I was like in my mind, and I was like, I don't know why this question came to my mind. I said, what would you consider being too petty?
Depends on the situation, cause sometimes shit ain't no such thing as too petty. Get the situation right.
I don't know why that question hit. Well, like we were just slinging shots. I think a song by Tank came on. He was like, "Oh yeah," he was like, "Oh, this is what you be singing." So I threw something back at him, and I said, "Nah," I said, "This is what you got going on." it was a crazy it
I
was a crazy
apologize,
night.
but I feel like you guys went out for a second, so I only heard what GT said, and I did not hear the entire scenario. I heard
Okay.
you, your sisters, and somebody else were chopping it up, and
Yeah,
then you said,
we were chilling and we had like I guess you could say a music war. So like you know like how sometimes when you mad at your partner, you just mad in general and one of them songs come on and it's just like I don't for some people like I say it'll add on it'll add on to the fire like it'll make you like oh I hate this MF even more or I'm not gonna say hate I just like this MF even more. So we were kind of like on that, but we were just kind of like throwing shots with the music. So I said before that had happened, I said in my mind I was thinking like what is too petty? Like what is the pettiest thing I guess you could do to somebody? As GT said, it depends on the situation. I can't even really think of a situation to go into to even like further elaborate it, but I know that was something that was on my mind.
so too petty towards your partner.
Or just like too petty in general. I wouldn't even say it to your part like just in general, like
I'm not even sure I 100% understand the
yeah,
scope of the question,
yeah.
but I think what you're asking is what song would be too inappropriate to use as an example of how you feel for somebody.
Yeah,
And that's
we could run with that. We could run with that.
I would say you remember that song by that guy named Imam or Iman.
The F it, I don't want you back.
Yes, that's probably like the max. Like I don't think there's anything more disrespectful than that song. Other than
That's
no
like
Scrubs, other than Scrubs, Pigeons, that song. Uh oh God, there is another song. Chicken Head. Um damn. I'm trying to think of all the insult songs.
use a hose.
Yeah,
You
that's the
know.
song. Um
Hey, you got bitch stop calling me.
I don't know that song.
Hey, that ain't my hoe.
Oh yeah, that ain't oh listen, that ain't my whole oh
I
my
don't know
god,
that
yo.
song either.
We used you wasn't with us then so you weren't with us then, but we had a chick and we well we not now we had a chick. We had a show. We had a two-part show where it was called the main chick versus the side chick. And
Oh
there
God,
were
I've heard that
a
infamous.
lot of people in their bag when that show moved forward. There was a lot of people in their bag. There was a lot of SADs. There was a lot of EADs. There were a lot of FUs. There was a lot of stuff going on.
Hey, you can play that Snoop Dogg. Bitches ain't shit. Yeah, it's a whole. You go back and forth in a war. Inappropriate songs to play to each other.
I'm trying to think. I'm sad. Disrespectful song.
You know, not because
Not so
like
much a breakup song, but like a song that's just 100% disrespect. Like
yeah, I think the FU the F it I don't want you back and the FU right back. Those two definitely hit hard. Like I ain't gonna hold.
and they both suck as far as music. Like sonically, they both suck. However, the feelings behind them is like I'm sure we've all felt that way.
Right, right. Because I forgot what we you know me and Rain we debate a lot and I think we were talking about the male aspect and the female aspect and the cheating aspect and the stepping out aspect, and how the female could do it and the female always says, "Oh, well, the guys can't handle it. The guys can't handle it." I think that's another reason why we kind of went into that because we going into that on the radio yesterday. This guy said he said that I think he said he has two families. He has a girlfriend and he has two different families.
On Angela Yee, right?
Yeah, on the Angela Yee jump off. Yeah,
Yeah, I be hearing that. Yeah, he said he got two different families, and then he got his girl.
and then he said, what did he tell him? He said that he works at night or something. I just heard the
He said
clip. I didn't hear the full
yeah,
aspect of it.
he tell one family how he spend time with all the families. He tell the like one family, hey, I'm going to work at my night job, and in the meantime, he really going to see the other family.
Okay. I'm
It's like so much unnecessary work. Just pick a family and go with them. Like, why the hell do all the extra stuff?
Well, he
okay.
got two different families. Then he got to make time to go spend with his girlfriend too, where he don't got no kids with.
But here's the thing. I remember I watched a lot of crime shows like a lot of women do, right? There was a story of this doctor, this Haitian doctor from, I want to say it was New York, but it could be Connecticut or something. Did the same thing for years. Had two wives. Obviously, the first one was his legal wife. So he carried this on forever. And so one day he had a fatal accident and he was in the hospital on life support. And guess what? Both of them showed up with the kids and everything. And so eventually they got found out. And unfortunately, the second wife was upset because the first wife got everything because legally she's the wife. And she ended up trying to kill her. Thankfully, she didn't succeed and the woman lived. But it's like, you're not going to get away with it forever. Eventually, it's going to get found out. There's going to be a time where you get sickly and old and something happens and it's going to get found out. And then you're going to be left all by yourself to die alone. So it's like, okay, good luck with that. But everybody who likes to argue with me and say that that's not true, I beg to differ because my 70-person caseload tells me differently. Because out of those 70 people, there may be about 50 men and 20 women. And out of those 50 men, maybe 5, and I'm being generous, it's probably less than 5, have family support. You know why? Because the rest of them ain't shit, cheating, deadbeat dads, players, gangsters, all of that. And guess what? Now they're old men, or not even old. They're middle-aged, and they got diabetes and lost a leg, or got hit by a car, or got in a fight and one guy's paralyzed. Like, whatever the situation is, something happened to them at some point in their life, and now they're screwed and have nobody. So people like to play these games and don't realize that eventually you will pay the piper, and he don't take layaway plans. So good luck with that.
Ooh, she just brought a message.
Just be honest. Listen, there's some women that are okay with poly. There are some women that are really okay with it. Just how would you know if you never asked? Bring it up. Yeah. Feel her out. Like, listen, are you okay with more than one? Tell her from jump. I am not a one-woman man. If that's okay with you, then let's do this. I have 2 friends. Well, they're not like close friends, but they're associates that are okay with poly. They're like, listen, you could do you. It is what it is. Like, I can't be with one person either. But that's the other thing, is not everybody's okay with having it both ways. Some people like to have stipulations.
Yes, let's take 2 minutes. 2 minutes. We'll be right back.
Yeah, cause girls is players too. Yeah, cause girls is players too. Keep it playing, baby. Cause girls is players too. Bitches getting money all around the world, cause girls is players too. What you know about living on the top? Penthouse suites, looking down on the ops. Took her for a test drive, left them on the lot. Time is money, so I spend it on a watch. Hold on, little titty showing through the white tee. You can see the thong busting on my tight jeans. Okay, rocks on my fingers like a nigga wife me. Got another shorty, she ain't nothing like me. Yeah, about to catch another flight. Yeah, the apple bottom make 'em wanna bite. Yeah, I just wanna have a good night. I just wanna have a good night. Hold up, if you don't know, now you know. If you broke, then you gotta let him go. You could have anybody, any money, mo. Cause when you a boss, you could do what you want. Yeah, cause girls is players too. Yeah, cause girls is players too. Keep it playing, baby. Cause girls is players too. Bitches getting money all around the world, cause girls is players too. I go on and on and on again. He blowing on my phone, but I'm ignoring him. He thinking he the one, I got like 4 of him. Yeah, I'm sitting first class like valedictorian. Came a long way from rag to riches. 5-star bitch, yeah, I taste so delicious. Let him lick the plate, yeah, I make him do the dishes. Now he on news 12, cause a bitch we're missing. Sheesh, about to catch another flight. Yeah, the apple bottom make him wanna bite. Yeah, I just wanna have a good night. I just wanna have a good night. Hold up, if you don't know, now you know. If you broke, then you gotta let him go. You could have anybody, any money, mo. Cause when you a boss, you could do what you want. Yeah, Cause girls is players too. And it's time that we let them know that girls is players too. Keep it playing, baby. Cause girls is players too. Bitches getting money all around the world. Cause girls is players too.
You know what's so crazy about that song? I used to always get the lyrics wrong. I used to always think don't even ask me what I thought the song said for starters. Welcome back to the Real Life Spill Show. But man, look at I used to sing that song so wrong. Like I'm just mad. Like at the age I am now, the song said, "Seeing you reminds me of." I don't know what I thought that man was saying, but I know for many years I was singing that song very, very wrong. Anywho, we were kind of like in a poly conversation before we went to the before we went to the break. I don't know where Teray has gone.
She
GG.
took too damn long, nigga.
Well, I had to take I had to take a minute. I had to get my thoughts and shit together, man. You
Yeah,
know,
old ass got dementia.
hey, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
And if I don't,
Watch your mouth before I come. Watch your mouth before I come. Jason, love your wife.
you wish.
uh, but so what's your take on poly, GT? Let's hear what you got to say.
Yeah, that's a man. Shit, that's a man dream right there. Dream come true.
All my people listening, what's your take on poly? Come on, talk to us. What's really good in the hood?
But I don't know. It got its pros and cons because you got double the nagging, double the attitude.
I feel like poly can work. A lot of people are already in polyamorous relationships and don't even fucking know it. I feel like poly works is all parties are honest and stay on the same page. And if something changes or they no longer want to be a part of a poly, are honest with each other and give people the right to make the choice to exit.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is,
One thing, ladies and men, because I've seen it on both sides. Stop agreeing to doing shit just because you think you're gonna change that person's mind or that they gonna magically fall in love with you and pick you. Please stop. You are opening yourself up for terrible heartbreak and disappointment.
Quick question:
You're gonna do what you're gonna do
Would
to make
y'all ever
yourself
consider
feel
it?
good at the end of the day. That's it.
I don't I don't think it would work because I
Why you
feel
say that?
because with that, and I guess in a situation like that, you're supposed to get emotionally. I guess you're supposed to get attached to both people. But my thing of it is this:
You
what
don't like
happens?
one more than the other?
Yeah, honestly, that. And secondly, what happens when jealousy becomes a thing? You know what I'm saying? Like what happens, or or shit, fuck it. The females get comfortable with each other and then they kick your ass out the equation.
Mhm. Hey,
I just
you want to
said
land the pipe down right.
I just said that everybody involved needs to continuously check in and be on the same page because in order for them to have done that, I'm not, well, I can't even say that. I'm not going to say somebody was lacking somewhere, but somebody's wires got crossed up. That's it.
Yeah, but and then because the funny part was that we go back a few months and Rain's brother he shared something on social media, and it basically showed how I think it was three women in the house. He went to the one woman, she dubbed him. She went to the second woman, she dubbed him. Went to the third one, they were just laid up on the couch, cuddled up with no problem. The person he's with got mad as hell. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh my god, niggas ain't shit, blah 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 blah. But like you said too, I can't say that's every guy's dream, but maybe the majority. But I can't say that's every guy's dream.
Ooh, unpopular opinion. I feel like all y'all guys think that's cool because y'all lack self integrity and self control. And y'all feel like if I got two bitches, I ain't gotta worry about cheating. And even dudes who have had the best of both worlds still wind up going out and being with somebody else because they lack self control and integrity. Or ding 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 ding, don't know what the hell they want and lying to my they want to be in a relationship when that's really not what you want. And a lot of people get together for all of the wrong reasons on top of that. Great sex is just great sex. That's it.
Hey, I mean, what's wrong with having seven wives, buddy? Freaks come out at night. What's what?
I hope you can afford all seven and got time for all seven.
And then that's another thing. So with the this is just my question with the poly relationship thing. Does does the same apply when a female wants two guys, or is it just always a guy having girls?
There
That's
are
No,
the
successful
it's
same way
still
you
it's
gotta
dealing
come
with
up
relationships
two
with the
where
guys.
same.
girls have had other male partners. Honestly, I know somebody that I went to high school with. She's in a great poly right now, but she has a girlfriend and a boyfriend, and they literally are her girlfriend and boyfriend. The girlfriend and boyfriend have no interaction with each other like that. Like they're not sexual with each other. They're just on a friendly basis or on some, okay, my girlfriend is your girlfriend, so that makes us family type ish. Nobody's mad that somebody else is getting time. Like right now, she's in Miami with her girlfriend.
But the reason why I think that's different is because that's a girl. But the other thing is, what I was saying before I got cut off, is that a lot of people are not okay with the girl doing her with another guy.
Right. I mean, but I guess I'll be biased about it. It's just like why can't why can't a girl have another guy if she wants another guy?
Men always want that shit to be one sided. They can dish it but can't take it.
Speak for your side of men.
Well,
I said
not
what I
really.
said.
I got a couple
Men
friends on
always want
social
that shit
media
to
that's
be
women.
one sided. They could dish it but can't take it.
I don't want it to be one sided.
If I, if you get to fuck whoever you want to fuck or be with whoever you want to be with, and we supposed to be in a relationship, then I should be able to do the same thing. If that's what we agreed upon, and how
I
dare you get in your feelings?
I'm not disagreeing. I definitely
I'm not saying that's what I want. I'm just saying. I feel like it should be both ways. Because to my knowledge, one marriage that was successful in being poly, and you heard me say marriage, was the Marley marriage. From my understanding, him and her were both open and poly, and they stayed married. They stayed together. They were in a actual relationship with each other, but they at times also had different partners, and they were honest to each other about who and what they were doing with whatever partner they were with at the time, i.e., why he had several kids outside of their relationship, and so did she. Now, if I'm wrong, somebody correct me, but that's what I know from personal sources that were close to the family.
and then like another thing, I jokingly said to I don't know how much Teray knows about it, but I jokingly said to GT before he came back on. He said something, and I said, "Shut up before Jason love your wife."
That whole
You said Jason Love? What?
yeah, I was joking with him. I told him to shut up before Jason loved his wife. I'm not sure if you know about the whole Adam 22 situation and his wife and how he let his wife do a porn star.
Yeah, I've
Well,
heard of
yeah,
it. I don't follow Adam
they're all
22, but I
porn
know he's
stars
pretty
though.
bad.
I was thank you, GT, because I'm like he didn't let his wife be a
Yeah,
porn star because when I did my research, from what
she
I
was a porn star
understand,
when he got with her.
they're both porn stars because 90% of the porn that she's in, he's in too. It's just her and another chick and him.
Yeah, it was her first time shooting with another man since they've
That
been
was
together.
actually she let him do a black guy.
He let her do a black guy, which was her, from what he said, her long term dream. And he said, "Oh, I the least I could do is fulfill her dream because she's always wanted to do that, and she's watched me sleep with countless of women, so it's the least I could do for her." And it gets mad when Jason Love has his commentary on the situation.
And it
Not
was also her
to,
anniversary. It was an
not
anniversary
the
gift.
going rate for a video or for a film was 5 grand, and you paid him double that to sleep with your wife.
I don't even know who Jason Love is. Who is Jason Love? Is that the other? Is that the porn star? The
Yeah,
other guy?
He's a BBC porn star.
Yeah, he on the black website or the black movies.
He's a BBC category porn star, and Adam 22 and what's her name?
Leonard the Plug.
Lena the Plug are Caucasian.
Well, no, she
I've heard of
Armenian.
the
She
situation only
Armenian
because I
like
was in
Kim
Europe.
Kardashian.
Caucasian
Armenian, different.
white folks.
That's white because Armenian people are from the Caucasus Mountains. They're white.
Thank you, white folks, Caucasians. They white folks, and he hired a BBC category porn star to sleep with his wife because that's what she wanted, and paid that man double his going rate.
Now I know the story. I'm saying because I've seen it on they never said the black guy's name. They just talked about Adam 22 and the wife. And the only thing I know about Adam 22 is he's a podcaster. I don't watch the show. I don't know who that. I didn't know he had a wife until this scandal came out and they were talking about it.
Ma'am,
And
I
even
didn't know who the
everybody
hell he was either way. I just caught traction of it when he started arguing with the black men because when he did an interview and a lady was asking him questions and she was like, well, what was that experience like? He said it was mind-boggling because in two instances during the porno, he said his wife hadn't been stretching so long, we talking about Lena the Plug, that his penis was going numb because he was stretching her out. All the while it slipped out and she's irritably begging for more. Put it back, please put it back. And then the second thing that he said was mind-boggling is the fact that she's giving him fellatio and she turns around, looks at her husband and goes, yeah, you like that, little man? What you gonna do about it, you bitch?
that's funny.
I'm about to piss on myself.
And I'm like, hey, yo. Like she's like, and from what the guy said, from what Jason Love said, he's like Adam 22 responded like, yeah, like he was excited to see his wife and so much exciting pleasure from somebody other than him, but then you're mad at the fact that he said he'd do it again and goes, oh, since you want to get online and talk tough and da you're blacklisted from sleeping with my wife. And I said to myself, sir, you don't have that power. If she want that BBC up in her again, she going for it.
Here's the funny thing. When you said
She
that was her
already said
fantasy,
she
I
went
was like,
around
I
too.
think it's probably his fantasy because a lot of these dudes got these weird fetishes where they like to see their women get banged by other people.
I don't think that was his fetish because he was overly upset. That man turned red to the point where he was talking about exposing Jason Love, and that shit backfired because they exposed him as a pedophile.
It was probably Adam that had that conversation with Plies. It was
Shot, it was so wet, my kept slipping out. Yo, slipping out. Don't tell nobody else that shit, bro. That mean you chicken nugget.
GTA, you let somebody else bang your wife? I just gotta ask.
Hell no. The fuck I look like.
No other male? What if it was a female?
If I ain't joining in, hell no. The fuck I look like.
You couldn't.
So she not able to strap up and give you a wife what she been missing?
And she ain't missing that. Trust me.
The community says.
Hey, you speaking for yourself, nigga.
Who's speaking for themselves? Not.
The one nut Chuck speaking for himself. Ain't got that issue. Bang bang. Shots fired. Shots fired. Man down. Man down. Shots fired. How about that?
So GT, realistically, you couldn't just watch, like you couldn't just be like a cameraman or something.
Fuck what the boy, you know me better than anybody else. What the hell I look like? Somebody else can be the cameraman and I'm in there with their wife, and hell no, I ain't going down the other way.
See what I said, ladies? Men condition what they can't take it.
Oh man. Oh man.
Since we questioning the lineup,
Could I wa-
could you watch?
could I watch you get done by another guy?
No, I'm not into that. So I sorry. I'm just saying in general though, if that was the situation, male or female, could you be the cameraman and just watch?
Oh no, I wouldn't watch you get done by another guy because that's not something I'm into. Honestly speaking, I mean,
Would you feel a ways, or is it just that you don't want to be present?
if I was president and you got to liking it more than me, I'd probably feel some type of way. I ain't gonna hold.
But who?
I ain't gonna hold.
All
I'm
right.
not gonna hold.
Okay, so now I have to ask, what is the issue with you men being in a intimate setting with another man that gets under y'all skin or makes y'all uncomfortable? Like, I don't understand why y'all be so in y'all bag about being in the room with the next man naked or anything like that. Like, it's weird that y'all are bothered. Like,
Oh, I never had a problem being in.
I'm not saying you, I'm just saying there are a lot of men that don't like to be naked in locker rooms with other guys. They like, oh, I could never be a part of a gangbang, or I could never be a part of a train or anything like that. Because what I want the next man meet next to me for, I'm like, that's real gay. The fact that you feel some type of way says that you might want to go dipping in the other side of the pond. Because why do you care? If you're not interested in having sex with him, why you care?
I remember being a kid, and like we were at the pool, and I remember they would say go shower and go change, and this old guy, and I remember everybody came running back out, and they're like, oh my god, he's naked, da 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 da. Old guy's in the shower, I mean, but he's washing himself off, and I mean, and he's just, he's just washing himself off, like he wasn't trying to touch nobody or anything. I don't know. I don't know, GT. What do you think about that?
I ain't got no problem with it. Shit. I ain't looking at the nigga. So hey, do what you do over there. It's just like in high school. I don't know about you, but if you ever you ever walked in when one of them slow kids using the bathroom, they in there using the bathroom with their pants all the way to their ankles. You know, people make a big deal out of it. Nah, hey, it's a true story, but some people make a big deal about it. But at the same time, what the hell you looking for? Obviously, ignore that shit. Do what you got to do. He ain't bothering you. I ain't bothering him. Hey, do
Okay.
my shit and go.
Okay, I got another question, and the answer will probably be yes. So, say you are, because football players and basketball players are guilty of this. What happens when another naked I can't even get it out. Know what I'm trying to say? Wait a minute. When another naked man slaps another naked man on the ass in the locker room.
See,
What's
I
the
can
difference?
I can contest. 'Cause I used to play. Yeah, that's out of pocket. Ain't nobody finna do shit.
So
But
if we wait.
now
So
I don't play on, I don't play basketball, so I know what's going on in the locker
Now,
room.
GT,
so
And I'm just
y'all don't slap each other's asses.
I'm about to say so.
hell no.
If we was in the locker room.
Lies.
If we was in-
I no.
I've
I'm
watched the both of y'all be sus with each other.
Wait a
hey
minute.
that
If we
joke.
was in the locker
It's a
room,
difference between joking and actually taking action.
I
Here's an example. I can joke like that all day with my homie, but I done been on the basketball team with other
But
people. Check this out though. I done been on a basketball team with other people, and the shit they do in the locker room, they take that shit way too far, son. And I'm like, ah, hell no, I'm up out of here. Cause I done played on teams, yeah, people that's undercover gay. So
I
they in
understand, but
there,
I completely get
they in
that.
there.
I was just about
Go
to say
sit your
that.
ass
But most of
down.
the time, when you see that type of stuff going on in the locker room, a lot of them are too comfortable with each other. Well, I can't say too comfortable. They're comfortable enough with each other to, I guess, do that type of stuff. For me, sometimes that's a bit much because male or female, I feel like you when you start taking it to the extreme and saying stuff that's way out of pocket, you really mean that shit. You just seeing if I'm gonna go for it.
Hey, I done been on the team, and it kind of found out years later after high school. Oh, they was actually having sleepovers and messing around with each other. I ain't never participate in. I ain't never go sleep over at no other dude's
Hey,
house.
you just
But
on whatever float your boat. I do not
right,
judge.
but I'm just saying. And it be they sweep it up on the rug, and they got a whole girlfriends through high school. Been done had kids, and the whole time they sleeping with teammates on the low. It's a difference between verbally playing and then actually acting out, doing the shit I've seen motherfuckers doing in the locker room. I'm like, hell no, that's overboard.
Right.
Cause you got niggas they be measuring dicks. For example, I done seen it. We done walked in, and the coach done walked in like, what the fuck y'all doing in here?
Nah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
niggas twerking in the locker room way back. We talking about
What?
07, 08, 09. Before twerking was really what it is today. You walk in the
That
locker
don't
room, got
count. You from
niggas in
Florida.
there
That
Keep in
twerking.
don't
mind,
count.
twerking is what it always been. Did you forget about Juvenile 99 2000? Let's not do that. And Freaknik,
And first of all, that like I said, that don't count. You from Florida.
I can't wait till that documentary come out, boy, 'cause it's gonna be a
You're
lot.
from Florida where they believe in booty shaking. Booty shaking has always been a thing. They just changed the term.
It's gonna be some people pissed off on that one. Ray, that's your question.
Sure.
You ever lick your Barbie dolls?
Hell no.
where does this come from? What's wrong with you?
I asked that because that's something else I've seen on Facebook, and a lot of people be like, some females are actually gay. They turn around and say, "Oh, I knew I was gonna be gay because I used to lick my Barbie dolls."
I have never in my life
Their
heard
parents needed to have them evaluated.
never in my life.
I'm sorry, I can't stop
I don't
that.
know what fucking like crevice of Facebook you be on, but I
Yo,
don't know.
I couldn't make this up. If I could find the post, I'd put it on the screen. Like I can't make this shit up. Like this,
He's
bro.
on the back
Oh,
page. With some
Facebook, I'm gonna need y'all to do me a favor and catch up. Y'all 2 light years behind Instagram, and y'all supposed to be the same platform. I need y'all to give me the ability to go back to my likes and my searches like I can on Instagram. Cause why for I gotta remember who name it is on what post or hope that I reposted it so that I could go back to it. Instagram, I don't gotta do all that. I just go to my profile and go to my likes.
Remember when you could poke people?
You still can. People still do that weird ass shit.
Such and such poked you. Having a poke war on Facebook.
I ain't gonna hold you unless I knew you and you poked me. You was getting blocked. Cause why you being weird?
Uh, my God, my God, mom was in the comments. She said no more dolls. But yeah, nah, I had said this before. Ren and I, we had this group back on in Facebook a few years ago, and one of that person who actually posted that was in the group. I mean, and was doing the most. Like if catfishing was a person, it would definitely be that person. Cause they was taking pictures. Cause I remember they sent me a picture and they was like, can you post this up in the group and say, oh, I look nice? And so I did it. I was like, oh, this person looks nice. And they was like, that's not the person. That's not the person. That's not the person. They flexing. And then you go to the person's page and turns out to be a whole nother person. I remember I had that experience one time too. I called myself that when Uber was a thing. I called myself trying to. I don't know. I was out there. I was just running around testing waters and stuff, just doing a whole bunch of BS. And this chick's on there. She's like, "Oh yeah, cause that's so fine. I have that fat ass and such, and I suck it real good and da 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 da." I was like, all right, so I'm like, let's just video chat, man. We all seen
Thinking
Friday.
with his boop boop.
we all seen Friday when they said when she said, "Oh, that's Janet Jackson." Janet Jackson looking like Freddie Jackson. She did not have a fat ass. She was the fat ass. And then I forgot who I told the story. I don't remember if it was Rain or whoever, but I just know they just kept laughing hysterically, and I'm like, yo, it's not funny. But it was terrible. It was terrible. I think I'm still
It
scarred.
reminds me of this meme I
That
saw.
girl
The
we love
girl was
too.
like, she said something about her food. She's like, I'm a picky eater, mind you. She's nothing less than 300 pounds. Like, ain't nothing picky about what you eat. And then she's talking about, I have OCD, and somebody was like, no, sweetie, you got OBCD. I was like, oh, she's.
But yeah, and then another thing, like back to the back to the dog thing. When my little sister came by the other day, I said, yeah, I was like, I said, remember, I was like, yeah, you used to make you play dolls with you and stuff. And she said, yeah, she like, remember I used to make them do it, and then she said, and then Ken started cheating on Barbie with the Bratz dolls, and
And she also said, which I thought was so innocent and cute. The girl, as the grandma was hearing, she was like, "What did you just say?" She says, "Well, grandma, that was back then when I was little." She's like, "I used to make them kiss." She said, "I thought that was sex. I didn't know there was more to it."
that's like me. I think I was. Let me see. How old was I? 5, 6, and don't judge me. They're not my blood cousin, so it don't count.
Kissing cousins.
We were just doing.
It don't count. Uh, basically, we were just hanging out, and I think we did kiss each other, and then I don't know the first or last thing about sex, and I'm just like, oh, want to have sex? She turns around and says no, because I didn't know anything. I'm like, so I guess that's a question I impose. What did you guys think sex was? Or did you guys actually knew? Or did you guys actually know what it was?
I don't know what age I knew. I mean, think all children have an idea what touching and all that. Like, I mean, you may not know the extent and the definition of certain terms and specific actions, but you know what certain things. I can't explain it. Almost like how a kid knows, like when a toddler, like I have a 2-year-old, right? He may not know what he's doing all the time, but there'll be times he looks at me before he does it, like, should I do it? Or you dare me to do it? Like, the type of look that kids give. So there's something intuitive that children have somewhat of an idea. They may not fully understand it, but I can't tell you what age I knew what sex was per se. I knew around 8 or 9. I had a pretty good idea what it was. I didn't know about the genitals and all the other actions that are involved in sperm and obviously like ovulation, all the other like detailed stuff. Obviously, I didn't know all of that,
Right,
but I had an idea that it had something to do with your parts down there. I didn't
right,
know exactly about it having to go into a hole and all that, but I knew it had something to do with down there. And I don't remember if it's because something my parents said or something I saw in a movie or on TV on accident. I just know it had something to do with down there.
right.
When I fully understood what it was, probably was about 12, maybe about that age. And if some of y'all are looking like, what you mean 12? And it's like, well, think about it. Internet was new. When I was in high school, no
Yeah,
one really had internet like that.
yeah,
Internet was not a thing. Even when we had computer classes was typing classes. There was no such thing as computer. No one had a laptop. The laptops back in my day looked like freaking VCRs. That's how laptops looked back in my day. And there was no color screens. Everything was blue and or black, and the letters were white. That's what it was. Like, there was no internet to look up porn and all that.
Girl,
All of
you
that did
just
not
took
come
it
until I was like a
back.
senior. Huh?
I said you just took it back. I forgot all about the fact that you had a computer with like a green screen and
Yes,
just
that was it.
blue
And the only games they had on
letters
there was
across the
solid.
screen.
Like, eventually, when I got like senior, junior in high school, that's when solitaire was like the shit on your computer. That Snake, that bomb game that nobody till this day knows how to play.
Mine.
Um, yeah, not Minecraft, but something like that.
It's called
Mine check. I think
Mines.
it's mine something with the word mine in it.
I
And
learned how to play actually.
well, whoop Can do it. Let me stop. Just
I
show it
actually
off.
learned how to play because my mother had
You're
gave
not
me her
special.
old computer, and literally that was all I could do because it wasn't hooked up to no internet. Because she said, "I'm not adding all that extra money onto my phone bill, and you ain't gonna
Yeah,
be on the computer all night, and I'm trying to be on the phone."
we gotta have a whole nother freaking discussion about like retro, the way things were
Facts.
back then,
Facts.
how these kids don't understand. But basically, point is, the information that's at children's fingertips today to know the details of what really sex is and like what it wasn't available to us like that. So unless your parents sat down and literally said, "This is what the man does, this is what the woman does, blah 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 blah, blah and this is what happens," we did not have that. And my parents, like I said, they weren't completely sheltering me, where they didn't tell me anything. Their whole point was, don't do it. Their whole point was, this is what can happen, and that was about it. They didn't get into the details of explaining the anatomy down there and all that.
Mhm.
My kids, I must say, my 9-year-old asked me, I want to say 3 years ago, where babies come from, and I didn't lie to him. I told them it comes when a man and a woman do, and they use their parts down there to do it. I didn't get into super
Willie, what
details,
up?
but I said, huh?
I'm sorry, I was shouting out to somebody.
Oh yeah. So I told him, I said, it involves your part down there. It comes out of the man first. It goes into the woman. The woman grows the baby in her stomach, and then the baby comes out, and that's what happens. And I'm not gonna lie, a piece of me was jolted when he asked me, and I was like, "How the fuck are you asking me this? I don't want to answer this question." But I was like, you know what? I don't want to be one of those parents that says, "Oh, the girl's cuckoo and the guy's wee wee." No, I told the truth. I said the word penis. I said the word vagina. I said this is what happened. Because I feel like when you start going around the words cookie and using all these terms and stuff, sometimes if something's happening to your kid, they may not know how to explain it because you didn't use the word. I need my kids to know, you have a penis. This girl has a vagina. These are breasts. This is that. Like, stop using these. Like, I understand why some people use the words because maybe they're uncomfortable and they don't want the kids repeating the word. But I've never had that issue. I've been very blunt with my kids about what sex is and sexuality and all that. And I've never had anybody tell me my kid said something inappropriate, or a teacher said, "Oh, I overheard, this one or that one." I almost said my son's name, but I've never heard this one or that one saying that on the playground, or I never heard it inappropriate. I'm not saying they haven't had those type of conversations with their friends, but they're not out here embarrassing me like how some parents are nervous about talking about it because they think their kids are going to embarrass them. It's not that serious. If you make it taboo and you make it a big deal, your kids will make it, you know, an issue for you. But if you're open and honest with your kids, you won't have that problem.
Right. Yo, Will, we listen. Don't do that because for starters, we haven't been on here since a long, long time, and I really didn't even. Well, I knew, but I didn't know. So we'll get you back in here too. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. No, he's always starting. He's always starting shit.
They tell Will to join us next Sunday. We run it back.
Yeah, he always starting some shit.
Boo, F Will.
Nah, but I got to be careful. I'm gonna say this because I just want everybody to know that I'm joking, and rape and stuff is not something that I take lightly. Because I'm like, now thinking about it, I've been raped a couple of times. Because I've been like throwing up against walls and people talking about we having sex. I mean, although we really weren't having sex, like girl was just hunching me, but I'm like, I didn't know what we were doing. Girl just throw herself on me and then she just starts thrusting and grinding all hard and stuff, and then talking about, oh yeah, wait. I
That's not rape, sir. That's sexual abuse.
I think I was violated. Now that
That's sexual violence.
well, sexual assault. I think I was violated for a second. I'm a little scared. But I don't. But you know what's crazy? I don't think I was ever one of those people that ever asked what that was. I mean, because anybody who God rest his soul, anybody who knew my grandfather knew he was like the porno king. So there were magazines and there were other things, you know what I'm saying, and other things like that kind of that kind of showed me what was what. So I don't think I was ever one of those persons that ever asked, hey, what is sex? I remember being like in not third grade. I think it was like fifth grade where they started telling us about our anatomies and stuff, and then they started telling females about theirs and about periods and things like that. Because I remember I just had this female best friend, and she turned around and I was trying to tell her. I was trying to tell her, what we learned about, and she like, and she was just. I guess she was just so disgusted from what she learned about. And I was like, yeah. So tell me, what did you learn about? She's like, oh yeah, well, they said we're gonna get a period, and I'm like, well, what's that? She's like, you don't. She's like, you don't want to know. You don't want to know what that is. And then like later on in life, like I remember my grandfather, and my uncle, they telling me, oh, well, we're gonna have to talk with you one day. We're gonna tell you the do's and the don'ts. Needless to say, I never got those, so I still don't know what those are and are not. I guess I just wing it off my own, you know, my own thoughts and recognizance and things like that. So GT, I and Rain. So Ray had to step out for the rest of the show. But we're almost done. We're getting ready to wrap it up soon.
No problem.
Um. So did you ever ask about it, or did you just like figure it out on your own?
I figured it out on my own at an early age. It's, it's called putting in the forbidden tapes.
Right, right. And then like I said, I remember I go use the bathroom. It'd be magazines and stuff sitting there, and then I'd be sitting there reading the magazines and stuff. And then everybody on the show knows Grandma Gwen. She'd be like, "Come out my bathroom when they're playing with yourself." I'm not even playing with myself. I'm just reading the magazine.
She knew what you was about to do.
Listen, the first time I did that, okay. the
You
first
was about 3.
the first time I actually did that and I seen some stuff shoot out of there, nigga, I panicked. I panicked. I thought I could never pee again or anything. Like I ran I ran to Grandma Gwen and I was like, I can't pee no more. I can't pee no more. I can't pee no more. She's like, wait, what the are you talking about? I said, I can't pee no more.
Hell no.
Because I thought, because now, in most cases after you do the do, you gotta you gotta take a piss. So I'm thinking after that,
You're supposed to.
you know,
Please, for y'all own hygiene purposes, do not ignore the fact that you have to pee after intercourse. You will and can catch an infection.
so I see this clear shit shoot out, and of course, I don't even know what it is. I don't even know what it is. Oh, that sounds like 5 knocking on somebody's door. But yeah, man, I take that. I take that piss, and I'm just freaking. I'm 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 just freaking out. No, 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 no. No, after I took the piss, I was at ease, but before I was just freaking out. I was freaking out. I think I even cried about it. Oh man, Will in the comments talking ish.
I see. I was just reading the comments.
Will in the comments talking ish, man.
Ah, shut up.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here.
Wait, I got a video I want to play. I'm just trying to find it.
I guess after Rain finds the video, we can wrap it up.
Yeah, we might as well go to 11 at this point.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we only got like 20 minutes left.
I've been so down and under pressure.
Hopefully by the next show, I'll have everything worked out the way I needed to. Cause boy, I was up here trying to get everything situated, and things was not going well. And you know me, when things do not start going well, nigga, I start getting mad. I was trying to say, F this, you know what? We ain't doing it, but I was like, it was too close.
This is why I be needing the bookmark stuff and screen recorded, cause I be forgetting where I be seeing and stuff, and then when I be going back to look for it, it be for the taking me forever.
I'm telling you, God, mommy, I don't know. Maybe I should have been around you a little bit more when I was younger, because these people, these people ain't tell me nothing.
That's why I'm so open with my kids and anybody that feels some type of way. These ain't yours. Raise yours. Um, I make my kids aware of their body parts, what people out here be looking for, what this mean, what that mean, the slangs to body parts, so they up to date all the time. And sometimes they be putting me on because baby, don't get caught slipping out here because some boy told you he love you and he think you cute, and son, everything that look fat ain't always good. Okay, don't fall.
But
And even that can be deceiving. And, and remember, it's funny you brought that up, because real quick, you know what? I said I don't like. See, Rain is the devil advocates person, and I was like, I didn't turn into. I said I didn't turn into Steve Harvey low key, because I'm like, because I was like, I ain't supposed to. I was like, I ain't supposed to be on the female side. I'm supposed to be on the male side, right? But I'm looking, yo. I forgot what we were looking at. I think we were looking at a female and how she had a baby and all this stuff, and I'm like, yo. I was like, us dudes really do need to do better, real talk. Because I'm like, I was like, it's sad. Like us dudes will touch anything.
Yes, baby. Because look,
hey,
everybody
you
needs
take
somebody. But when I be
us.
seeing some of these people, and I be like, somebody slept with you and had kids. Why?
Hey, you can't say us. Them niggas will touch anything. You can't put me in that category. I ain't them.
Nah, you know what? You married now, so I'm gonna just hold that to myself, and I ain't even gonna say that on the air. I'll just leave that where it's at.
Hey, you smart man.
Yeah, I know. Well, she might be listening. you, you got to deal with it. I know.
I ain't gotta deal with shit. I'm
Bruh, I was
golden.
looking for the video, but I can't find it, and so I'm just gonna tell y'all what happened in the video. It pertains to the topic of kids anatomy and stuff. Uh, a lot of y'all probably have seen it. It was floating around social media where the little boy asked his daddy. He go, "So you mean to tell me I came from your nuts or your balls?" He was like, "Yeah, yeah, you came from my nuts." And he was like, "So how you put me in my mama? So you push me out your nuts and into my mama?" He said, "Yes, son. You came from my nuts." He said, "So how I got in her stomach? What you put me in her mouth?"
Ah,
I was like, "Now, as a parent, you knew better. Why you walk yourself into that? Because now you got to explain, or you got to leave that awkward ass conversation alone. And when he get older, if he remember that conversation, he gonna come back and ask you, now, daddy, why you told me you had shot me in my mama mouth?"
You,
he probably meant to say some of his siblings got shot in his mama mouth.
you know another thing, and we could.
No, but think about the innocence of a kid. He automatically assumed that he went through her mouth because when you eat food, where does it go?
To your mouth and out your butt.
But it stops in your stomach.
Allegedly.
You know another thing that we always laugh about how the we probably didn't think about it, and this is why I say, like, even Saray said about how technology and internet and computers and stuff coming a long way, because how many of us as children actually thought, like, like, okay, for instance, mom, can I go play outside? I'm playing your ass if your room ain't clean. Like, all the suspect things that are said.
I was definitely that kid, and I definitely got the shit popped out of me several times because she would
I
say shit like, "If you don't go clean that room, I'm playing your ass," and I'd be like, "Well, why would you want to play in my butt? Doo doo come out of there."
I knew what the hell they meant, so I ain't even play around with it. Remember, I learned at a young age. First, I remember my first ass whooping. I clearly remember my granddaddy was cooking breakfast real quick, and he was like, I think we was playing in the house. He said, "Do you want a spanking?" I was like 3. I said, "Yes, I want some bacon." And he beat my ass. He thought I was playing.
Oh, that was an innocent mistake. That was an innocent mistake, bro.
Hey, well, ever since then, I knew. Hey, I understood.
I think, but I think back then, honestly, too, I think they were just looking for a reason. Cause let me tell you,
Absolutely.
I but
Unfortunately, most of them were second generation. Some of them first generation removed from slavery. So they still were trying to unbottle that trauma. So all they knew was whoop ass and ask questions later. That
cause
was their form of punishment for everything. Whoop ass. That's all they know.
yeah, 'cause that was like basically like one year for Christmas. I what's his name? They had mad stuff under the Christmas tree, and they had stuff unwrapped, and they had stuff wrapped. Me, you know, I'm a kid, so of course I'm gonna go for all the stuff that's wrapped. I'm not thinking about the stuff that's unwrapped. So I go in there and I done unwrapped everything. I'll tell you everything under that tree. I done unwrap. I done went in there. I done went in there, yo, and I done tried the what's the name. I done tried to wake them up and show them what I got. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
1 second, I'm coming out. I'm coming out.
What's going on?
It's like 20 of them in front of the window.
What the fuck is going on? Hey yo, I gotta wrap up the show. We'll what's his name? We'll reconvene on the next one.
All right, no
GC, I hit
problem.
you.
Yeah, y'all handle that.
Yeah, GC, I'll hit you on the phone.
All right.
All right.